Before I start this, I'm not Big K. I'm not Rosenberg Raw. I'm not Heavy Bags. I'm not Oliver Anthony. I'm not Ragged Bone Man. I'm not Glue Easy. And I'm not Action Bronson. It's Cammygbr, man. Welcome to the channel.
Anytime you need me, girl, you know I'm by your side. And I know that you know that I can make it right. I feel just how you feel tonight. Let me do what I can do to make her feel it right.
They don't know if it's Deezy or Deezy. They go up. Did it Bally, no Bally. People they see me with CC, or they eye me like KAALE. I bring mine in the party. Can I vibe with your Cardi? Caesar Milani. I'm the best with a doggy. How ya gonna test me, a nani? And I'm here west with a Marley. Wallahi. Draw for Salang, I'll nank for Italian toddy. I got both like Bobby and Bobby, Hardy and Hardy, Lardy the Dardy. Plus a plug is my charge. You best mind your walk with your shot.
What's good, Cammygbr? We are here. You see the title. Boys, I think I solved it. I think I've solved Blackout. Okay, there's 1,000,001 possibilities. Okay, maybe a little on the misleading side. But breaking down each battler as they were being announced and where they go, I fucking did that. I looked at it, had ticky boxes, who battled who, like pretty much the whole shebang. I'm doing this because I remember years ago there was someone who had like a Blackout Blackout post, and they put on like a spreadsheet of percentages and likelihood, and it was so fire. I'm not good like that, so I've just made a video. And what I've done is I've made a card that I believe is most likely, and then I've consequently made 2 more cards right after that are like, okay, this is the next likely and next likely, and I formed 3 cards. So what I'll do is I'll break down the card that I think will happen, and under each matchup, like let's say a battler here and here, underneath will be next 2 people that I think they'll be likely to battle. Now that you understand, let's break down Blackout 8, man. Let's go. Hold on a second. We've got 2 matches that we can actually break down properly. Let's do them first, right? So, Rum versus Illmac. First battle that was announced, first official battle. I think that was a great way to start off this whole promo run. Clearly a main event in almost any league. Illmac is so good. Illmac is one of the best concept writers. So when you're just people who rap and write and you construct their own material, most original, all these, Illmac is that guy. Like the next level forethought is always something that I would attune to Illmac. That the way his ability of making things look so effortless and speaking and, you know, catching polar opposites and making connections and, you know, relating in metaphors and real rap style. Like, Illmac's one of the best at it. Rum Nitty is one of the best at almost all them attributes. But in battle rap, finding polar opposites, making connections, punchlines, all of this shit. This has to be nothing less than a classic, or at least battle of the day. Well, I think it's day 1, day 2, one of the days. Battle of the day, right? It has to be. So it really, I just see this going like Big K and Illmac, like from years ago. I just see Big K, Rum Nitty bombing, maybe first round, second round bombing, and Illmac, like the 3rd round is such an incredible concept and incredible like thought process. Illmac must be in this process of writing that he believes can really take onus and control what Rum Nitty does. And there's one time, we forget, one time Rum Nitty was in Canada and he smoked shit out there.
Check the scoreboard, you're looking at a deficit. If there's one thing you can't come back from, then deficit. If you survive when I let it rip, you get hella stitched. The doctor will leave your fucking stomach looking like a catcher's mitt. Let it sit. A fucking Mexican that dropped the N-bomb after every 10 words of filler. Watch your mouth. I clench my two fists up, give your chin work. Push your grill inward. Now that's how you censor a nigga.
2-1 Rum Nitty for now, but easily debatable. Hollohan and Geechi. I want to root for Hollohan, you know, as an old battle rap fan and coming back and, you know, being like, there was a while where Hollohan just dominated. Absolutely dominated everything. That everyone, a lot of battlers were scared to face a Hollohan, and it took being able to pay these top tier battle rappers to face him. It was, Hollohan was a scary battler back in the day, and that's why Cortez went so crazy, because he knew Hollohan was nothing to fuck with.
But I'm gonna put all the bullshit aside for a second. Let me talk to you. I'm gonna point out your flaws and faults and what's wrong with you. You're a genius on drugs, correct? Well, what's going on with you? Do you get high to hide the demons inside that are haunting you? Like Bruce B? May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Bruce B.
May he rest in peace. And I would never disrespect him. And I know this is a touchy subject, but fuck. There's a rumor that I heard about y'all with. I'm disgusted, Jeff. Don't get upset. Just be real with yourself, because every drug that Bruce did, you dealt it yourself. Every line on the canvas, capsule in every tablet, you're the worst kind of friend. You influences every habit. He got high from within. He hid his vulnerabilities. And since you taught him how to get high, I think I'll teach you about responsibility. Real friends help you make yourself. If I was him as a fake friend, I would hate myself. All the roids and them cocaine, I would hate my health. If I'm the reason my man's dead, I would take myself. No pause and metaphors, I'm dishing it the realest way, because your actions then are the reason he ain't here today.
But I can't have him beating Geechi. I can't. No one who can have him beating Geechi. Geechi got him, man. Geechi's like, in the end, he's one of the best. Okay, fumbled a bit versus Coffee. I get that. I get it. Fumbled a bit, but still Geechi got him, man. Yeah, Geechi 2-1, maybe 3-0. Hollohan will have the crowd, but you know it's the first time Geechi's gone international, so. He might have the crowd as well. I know when being in London, if London had Geechi got it. Okay, here's the fun parts. Let's break down Blackout and what I think's going to happen. So, first battle to discuss here. What I have as card number 1, Joey Gambello versus Pep. Now, reason why I've got this as number 1 is it was weird that they had out of 20 matchups, and then when Loso was announced, it turned to 22. That seemed really convenient. Like, you had the card set up, then you threw 2 more in there, and they both happened to be beast mode. They both happened to be Canadian battle rappers. They're kind of in the similar squads almost. I feel like you've put that in there as kind of Canadian representation to kind of start off a day, you know, and just set the tone for the event. So if I was to have anyone win that, I've got Joey winning with an edge. If there's anyone else that they may battle, I've got Franchise Tricky P for Joey, and I've got Lopeshi and JC for Pep. I feel like Pep versus JC was supposed to happen, and King of the Dot have bought battles before, but I think that happened here. I think, but I might have made that up. I just feel like it happened before. Pesci versus Tricky P. The reason why I've got this one, Feel Good, man. Feel Good is a battle rapper that passed away a long time ago, and I want to say like 2013, and that would make sense if it was 2013 because that would be 10 years from today. So in that battle there, Lil Pesci had his highlight moment. I think one of his highlight moments is Lil Pesci's had a few.
Yo, Feel Good. I know you ain't high just on trees. Only time you bumping and grinding with freaks is in the stall doing key bumps and grinding his teeth. So how you gonna front like your rapping steez be fantastic when it looks like your mic is a functioning vacuum cleaner attachment? Dog, when I'm done beating on you like NPC pinatas, it would be an honor to beat your mama like she's Rihanna.
Beat your mama like she Rihanna, like on Feel Good. And every other battle rapper's had their homage, Bender, PH, I feel like Feel Good got pushed away a little bit because battle rap wasn't as big back then for at least Canada than it is now in the world. So this may be a homage to him. For Turkey P, I have him, also Joey Gambello for the contrast, and Carter Deems because of, you know, it's rap's silly, gimmicky kind of, but that sort of style. And Lopeshi, I also have, as well as Pep, Charlie Clips, you know, Lopeshi back, just throw in the veterans, and Clips would take something like that. You can see it. Next battle, I've got Carter Deems versus Myverse. This will be a very similar situation to Carter Deems and Bonnie, where Carter Deems does the whole I'm a bit nervous by punchlines and gimmicky thing, or he just flips it and goes, you know what, I do have cats, what you gonna say about it? My dad doesn't let me pay rent, I live in that house. Like, I could see that going that way too, but I just see the similar vibe of how it worked before. Give it to anyone, 2-1 Carter in Canada. You can barely touch him, he's one of the best. Myverse will be there, but she'll get the reaction. But you know, Myverse, I don't know how Myverse beats a Carter Deems, if that's the battle that happens. But I do also have for Carter, Turkey P as well, as I said before, and Arsenal for the super disrespect. And for Myverse also, Arsenal as a second one, you know, female Arsenal, and you know, women battle and whatnot, and Loso for Orlando and Tampa, Florida battle rap, man. I think that kind of makes sense. But next one is this one that I'd be particularly excited for: Real Sick versus Emerson Kennedy. Now, Emerson Kennedy is leaving battle rap. I may have seen the trailer. He's kind of done this whole homage thing where he's battled 6 people in his studio, made it aesthetically look good, and before he like leaves to do other things, which I think is fire. Like, make your own rollout. I fuck with that heavy. And we have Real Sick right now, who is currently the man. Had his great performance in King of the Dot before. You know, he's just a fucking brilliant battle rapper. And with Real Sick, Emerson, I don't know if he's still with Caffeine. I don't know if he's contracted to it. Like, if he's leaving, he shouldn't be. If he's on King of the Dot, he probably shouldn't be if he works at Caffeine. You know, he shouldn't quite be connected like that. So it just makes sense. And Real Sick already being on King of the Dot, I think it's one of the leagues that they'll allow, because Real Sick's kind of particular that he likes to be able to battle in all these other places. But URL contracts say that you can't battle URL battlers out of URL. So if it's not that, I also have Real Sick versus Charlie Clips and Sharon, as well as Mike P and Mad Flex for Emerson Kennedy. For this Real Sick and Emerson though, pick someone. I'm gonna have to go Real Sick 2-1. That pains me because Emerson Kennedy is my favorite battle rapper. He's my favorite. I just love the way he puts things together, and you know, one of my favorites. Just Real Sick last performance in Canada was so crazy that it's just going to carry on. The next one, Jay the Nightwing versus Mad Flex. Now, bear with me. Jay the Nightwing style is so unorthodox because it's fast paced and slow paced. Like, he can have you waiting at every word for the next thing he's about to say, then hit really fast pockets and just, you know, really go multi-syllabic attack and just carry the momentum. A lot of things that Mad Flex can do too. And Mad Flex is still in the position looking for these opportunities to then battle big name battle rappers, you know, that aren't quite the normal ones. You know, you just had the Mike P battle. It would make sense to me you give him Jay the Nightwing, and afterwards other names of that cloth. Then that battle to me makes a lot of sense. If I'm to give that as a prediction, I'm gonna go Mad Flex. Fuck with Jay the Nightwing heavy too. One of my favorite battles is Jay the Nightwing versus Danny Myers. Mad Flex is so cold with it. So is Jay. They're both cold. Mad Flex been in Canada a little more than Jay the Nightwing has. I think it's the first time for Jay. So giving it to anyone, Mad Flex. any of them two that they may battle. Also, Jay the Nightwing may have an A-Ward or a franchise, and Mike P may have, no Mike P, and Madflex may have a Loso or Emerson Kennedy. The reason why I've got Emerson Kennedy and Madflex is because if Emerson Kennedy is leaving, one of the first battles that Emerson ever did was on Battle of the Zay versus Madflex that didn't have a beard. Like a young Madflex, a young Emerson Kennedy. And they might want to revisit that. And I think that's, some rematches may be okay to happen after a long period of time. So I just believe that that's, if it was to happen, it would be something from his early battles. And I noticed this on Twitter a little bit. It was just enough. It was maybe a random tweet. Thesaurus had said something in a kind of cheeky way, and Mike P responded, "Listen here, asshole." And I thought, that's enough. That's enough, because you're trying to be sneaky there and call him out on something, but you're not trying to give anything away in a jokey way. So I think Thesaurus and Mike P is a battle that's going to happen. After Mike P's performance on King of the Dot with Madflex, he only want me back to do something. He just had the great battle versus Rosenberg Raw. Nostalgia, what a fucking card name, had that. And this is Mike P trying to book battles on his own without URL just giving him battles. This is Mike P, independent Mike P. So if he's given the opportunity for a Thesaurus, I think he would take it, like, and continue to have a good year, keep his name buzzing. And you know, that's Mike P trying to go on every single event now, which is fucking fire. Like, Mike P still feels a little exclusive to URL, so when we see him outside of URL, it's quite exciting. And I just think that matchup makes a lot of sense. Giving it to anyone, Thesaurus is difficult to beat in King of the Dot. He's really difficult. But Mike P, okay, I'm going to edge Mike P 2-1, because I think the aggression of Mike P might overtake what Thesaurus is trying to do a lot of times. If it was given them any other matchups as well, I think Thesaurus could get either a JC or an A-Ward, and Mike P may get an Emerson Kennedy or a Big K. The Big K is a big ask, but it's sort of, it's throwing it out there because, you know, Mike P's gone independent, he's not anti-URL, but now he's able to battle other people that he wouldn't have, and if Big K comes walking along, he's going to want JC versus A-Ward. Story writes itself. The story writes itself. I think A-Ward in particular is going to be looking at his year going, this is going to be one of my best years. After the loss versus Big K on RBE in February, A-Ward has come back swinging, and I think he's still in that Champion of the Year discussion. Like, and JC's been on a bit of a hiatus. I don't know. I think Miss Hustle his last battle. It's been a while since we've had a JC battle, so JC's probably got away from his contract for now and taking battles outside of it, which I'm glad to see JC back, or like back to being more independent. Still, what you did the Premier Battles, I still don't fuck with. I don't fuck with that. You did some bullshit there. But the story writes itself. JC, A-Ward, Jesus Christ, and JC's already battled Saga. He's already, you know, he's gone through a few Christian battle rappers. Loso he's already battled, and this, I think, apart from Street Hymns, this will be the last one. And A-Ward's not just coming to Blackout for no easy opponent. No, not respectfully, not really for a Pep or a Joey Gambello. You know, just so he's going in for a name, because A-Ward is a name. He's just had the Averb Battle of the Year contender. He's got Charlie clips. You know, he'll be looking for another like JC. He'll be looking for something. Body of the Year possibly in Vixen. Yeah, JC is a suitable name for A-Ward. I'm going 2-1 A-Ward, because A-Ward just does so much, and he's riding a higher coattail than JC just now. But JC's cold, and I just don't know how the Canadian crowd's going to take to him, because, I mean, a long time ago, you died versus 100 Bullets. That was strange. 100 Bullets really went through, like 100 Bullets really went through the best pens in battle rap, and beat them pretty clear. It's fucking mental. So, other battles that may happen, Thesaurus, JC, that's a bit of a legacy battle. I'm shocked that it never happened before. I had to really go back and go, huh? So that may happen. JC may also get a pet. Like I said before, I feel like I've seen that battle announced and then not announced anymore. So that may happen, but I'm not 100%. A-Ward, Jay the Nightwing. This is kind of now Jay the Nightwing's more independent. You may have that in Thesaurus as well. Coastal Legacy battle. We had A-Ward call out Thesaurus in the Illmac battle, so it could happen. Sharona versus Loso. Now, that's one you can maybe throw shit at a wall and just, okay, that's maybe a little random. But when you really break down Sharon and Loso, like, Loso is very underrated in freestyling. He can rebuttal. Him and Sharon are similar archetypes. Really think about that now. Really similar archetypes. But Sharon is maybe more multisyllabic, where Loso is maybe a little more direct. But with these two battling against each other, it's one of those ones, if you give Loso ex King of the Dot, real deal, why wouldn't you give him Sharon? And for Sharon, there's only so many battles left that you can have. If we were to have what I do have here as like a second most likely, Sharon versus Big K, that's maybe a bigger main event than Hollohan and Geechi. So why would you have that underneath? Why would you not announce that, then have Hollohan and Geechi, and you know, like that's a big main event. So the fact you've got two battles that are about on the same level, you wouldn't have, to me, you wouldn't have Sharon versus Big K. But it's also with Sharon, he's not just taking any new guy. Like, at this point in his career, he's given the opportunities. Now he's kind of back in fashion and needing to pick up some names again, because there's been a little while that Sharon respectfully lost a bit of steam, and he just needs to try and bring it back. So I think Sharon, Loso. Now, 2-1 Sharon, pretty clear. If you beat Hollohan, I think you're going to beat Loso. Loso's great. Just Sharon in Canada, damn, you're untouchable. For them guys though, if there was any others, as I said, Sharon, Big K, and Real Sick. I think both of them, it just makes sense. Real Sick with the performance at Stay Forever. Big K is just a huge matchup and a great opportunity. Like beating Sharon in Canada with everything else that you've done, you're on your way for Champion of the Year. And I think that right now, Big K's not trying to stop. He's not trying to slow down for anything. And you also have Loso. I've got Mad Flex as well in my verse. Just as I say with the Florida battle rap, but Mad Flex is just, that's another name that it would work and it'd be a great battle, and someone that I guess that Loso wouldn't normally battle unless he was on King of the Dot. So yeah, Clips versus Franchise. Now, know what you're thinking, why is Franchise getting the shot? Because Franchise has been a Canadian battle rapper representing Canada on URL and other leagues for so many fucking years. So many years. And he's come back to King of the Dot and fucking smoked Saint. And Saint is no easy opponent. But we've done so much for Franchise. We've done so much for him in building him up. now we have to give him a name. And when I seen Clips announced, it just made a lot of sense to me that if Clips franchise, he talks similar stuff, but Clips kind of has the whole back. That's a veteran for franchise to battle, and I think franchise deserves it. So I would say that if that battle happens, Clips 2-1, because Clips does so much, but this is one of those, finally franchise gets a big battle rapper, because even on URL he kind of got a lot of mid tiers, and then more lockdowns in Canada happened. When he came back, I think it was like drugs or something like that. He didn't come back to the best battle rappers. You know, the rollout wasn't as good, so let's give him the rollout. He's Canadian, let's support him, giving him Charlie Clips. For them guys, any other battles for Charlie Clips, Real Sick and Lopeshi. Lopeshi, just give him as a veteran, and Real Sick, because of the performance that Real Sick had on the 2-on-2 versus Clips and DNA, I could see Clips just going, I want to shut him down, because he did far too much. You hear Clips saying it, calm down, it's for charity. I don't think he liked the way that Real Sick smoked him, so I think he's petty, and I think he would take that. But that's like a second battle maybe to me. That's not like most likely. And for franchise, you've got Joey Gambello as well, who I never knew they didn't battle yet. I didn't know that. So having them two together and actually like similar styles in Canada, you know, and talking that shit, like it just makes sense, and especially on a bigger stage. Like why hasn't that happened yet? Why has Beast Mode not picked that up? Like, was it because he was on URL a lot and he was difficult to get at the time, or I don't know. So it makes sense now to see about getting Joey and franchise, as well as franchise having Jay the Nightwing. Another URL name, he never battled, has gone independent, I think, and is now in a position where they can battle in other leagues. Why not take him? Why not get given him? Now, I've gone through most of the names. 2 names left. This is kind of like your main event, but is maybe just not as big as Rum and Illmac or Hollohan and Geechi. And now you're going to say, wait, that probably is bigger, but let me break it down. Arsenal versus Big K. Now, yes, Arsenal is the man. Millions and millions of views. Absolute top dog, right? Big K, champion of the year run. They both were on RBE and they both had incredible performances. They've battled 8-9 years ago on some random buttfuck league that was just, there we go, pay them, see what happens, rap, done. Now that they're in the position where they are, it makes sense to have them together and have a proper big stage battle. Like, I'm not a fan of the rematches, but when you see it as a clash in Canada, and it does make sense. And with Big K and Arsenal, like, views don't matter as much anymore. And you have Rum and Illmac. Okay, Illmac is a Canadian favourite. And Rum Nitty is fucking pinnacle in battle rap. Hollohan, Canadian legend. Geechi, debut, Canada. Which, with them two in perspective, you then have to then go, right, Arsenal has been to Canada lots. Big K debut, but they're 2 Americans battling. Same with Illmac and Rum, but I think Illmac and Rum as a King of the Dot match, heavily requested, goes a bit above Arsenal and Big K on regards to like a card level. So with that being said, with Arsenal and Big K as like your big match that isn't announced, I would have to go Big K 2-1, maybe 3-0, because the excitement for Big K is going to be crazy. Arsenal has always done pretty good in Canada. There's been some performances that have never been the greatest, but with Arsenal, he's always there. He's always in the fight. Even if he loses all 3 rounds, like I think he probably will, he's in the fight. And I'm hoping for an amazing battle, especially after the B Magic showing. We need... When Arsenal is in a grade 10, Battle Rap is in a better position. The card that I have officially. Rum versus Illmac, Hollohan and Geechi, right? Arsenal versus Big K, Clips and Franchise. Sharon versus Loso, JC versus A-Ward. Jay the Nightwing versus Madflex, Thesaurus versus Mike P. Real Sick versus Emerson Kennedy, Carter Deems versus Myverse, Lopeshi versus Tricky P, and Joey Gambello versus Pimp. Now, I'm showing you this now, and you're seeing it on your screen of what the card is, and you should be seeing 2 other cards. Now, them 2 other cards are cards that, off of the other picks from the sides of each battle rapper, like likelihoods, is 2 other cards made up from them guesses. So whether it's 100% these cards, I think you will probably be able to make your own card out of these battles put up in front of you. That required a lot of fucking effort. So you better fucking subscribe, and you better fucking do, help me out. Fucking look at you. Fucking help your man out. This took a lot of effort to really construct and edit and set up, so I appreciate all the support. Cammygbr.
Anytime you need me, girl, you know I'm by your side. And I know that you know that I can make it right. I feel just how you feel tonight. Let me do what I can do to make her feel it right.